Hey y'all, I know we're on spring break and I know you're probably not expecting any homework or a video, but I thought I'd give you some words of wisdom, words from my prayer over these last few days. Our world has gone from crazy to crazier, and I'm sure you're really confused and you don't know what to expect, and it's really hard probably to enter into this break that the Lord has provided because you're worried about what's next. So that's normal and natural, but I wanted to give you something to enjoy, hopefully, and to a chance to learn a little bit. So the other day at Mass, so here's the thing, in the convent we get to have Mass. We have our own chapel, and so Monsignor, our father, come over and they have Mass for us, and it's such a blessing. So the other day at Mass, Monsignor Meridian, he invoked the intercession of Saint Corona, and to be honest with you, all of us started laughing. We had no clue there was actually a Saint Corona. So being the spy that I am, I decided to look it up, and there is a Saint Corona. She died in the 3rd century. She was a martyr. But what's really crazy is that she is invoked ever since the second or 3rd century for plagues and epidemics. What? So I thought that was really crazy. To make it even crazier, our secretary over at the church, she decided to call her mom and tell her about St. Corona because she had no clue as well. And her mom told her, who was older, her mom told her that when she was growing up, she was taught by a sister Corona. So this sister was named after St. Corona. This sister, Corona, she died in 1980. So that day, it was only a couple days ago, that day, Catherine's dad, so the secretary's dad, went out to the barn, and they moved out there in 1995 about, so 15 years after Sister Corona died. And he was piddling in the farm, in the barn, and he looked down on the dirt floor, and there was a holy card to Sister Corona. She died in 1980. They moved out there in 1995, and this was like 2 days ago that he found the holy card on the floor. What? So it's pretty cool that we have a saint to ask for her intercession during this time of epidemic or pandemic. So I know you've missed this. It's time for the 2-minute Lent lesson. Yeah. So we also had another priest over at the convent the other day, Father Helscher from Alleman, and he was talking to us about Saint Francis of Assisi, who you all know. I follow his order, the Franciscan order. And he told us something that I didn't know about, that Saint Francis actually during the entire Lenten season decided that he would forego receiving Holy Communion. So he did not receive Holy Communion at all during Lent, 40 days, no Holy Communion. And he did this as a matter of fasting, but also as a matter of really wanting himself to long for the Eucharist. And so that on Easter, when he received Holy Communion, that it would be that much more amazing. Y'all, you have been called to fast from the Eucharist, to fast from Mass during this Lenten season. And maybe you're sitting there rejoicing that you don't have to get up early to go to Mass, but maybe there's some of you who are longing for that you actually miss it. And I pray that those of you who are sitting back saying, yeah, no Mass, are actually going to hopefully long for the Eucharist. And so that on Easter, when hopefully we get to go back to Mass, that when you receive Holy Communion, you realize what you've been missing all this time. So I hope that you will pray through the intercession of St. Francis that you will have this holy longing for the Eucharist. Another aspect that he talked about was that we as sisters being able to go to Mass every day, still, even in this pandemic, that I bring you with me. I bring the entire world to the altar with me. I receive Holy Communion every day for you. That you can't receive him, but for some reason the Lord has graced me that I can. And so that I bring you to every Mass during this time. I ask you to not fear, during this virus, during this pandemic, but trust in God and lean on Him. Perhaps this is your opportunity to love others more deeply, to get to know your family more deeply, to enter into prayer more deeply, and to experience that holy longing for the Mass and for the Eucharist. Know that we're all praying for you, the priests, the sisters, and I really hope that we can see each other soon, if not virtually face to face. God bless.